Have I wrote a grievance to you? You don't pay attention at all?
I answer thousands of those. We have almost 900 inmates, maybe more sometimes, and I answer those every day. So I have no idea. I doesn't focus on any one particular inmate, just the inmates.
How often do you read a report about me?
I also have no idea. I read reports about hundreds of inmates every month.
Does nobody ever mention me to you or bring me up about anything, situation?
Like who?
Other than, the stuff you tried me with, nobody ever brought up to you about me causing problems in the facility?
I'm not part of shift meetings to hear any of that stuff. I have an office. I'm not part of the jail cell.
So this is the first time you heard about me throwing feces on the office?
No.
You have heard it before?
Yes, in the case we're here for today, the last paragraph of my report.
All right. Other than this one, has there been any other?
Other than those two?
Yeah.
Not that I can recall, but I would have to look through my spreadsheet to see how many times you made something.
Lieutenant Ford, when you claim I dashed him with feces, were you working at Jefferson County Correctional Facility?
No.
So how did you know about that?
Because he told me.
Mm-hmm. So
you won't believe what happened in this courtroom. Then everything changed.
Is it fair to say that other people do tell you about other times that of my behavior throughout the facility?
If it's relevant to my investigation, I ask the question.
What did you say, sir?
Has the witness, I'm done.
Anything else?
No.
Is this man excused?
Please, sir.
You were excused, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next,
Take a rest, John.
raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make during this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
God.
Lower your hand, please. Please sit, be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, when a person wants to represent themselves and make testimony, we don't have anything built into the system where we play like a question is being answered. And this is question and answer. This method, when a defendant wants to represent themselves, it's different altogether. And this is the exception to the rule. He may make a presentation, an oral narrative, and then when that is completed, then the state gets to cross-examine. But it's not a question and answer. In this particular case, when a defendant insists on representing themselves and testifying, they get to make a narrative statement, and they're going to be held to the rules that it needs to be relevant. It's to the allegations at issue in the four corners of the indictment. All right. You're on the stand. You've been sworn in, Mr. Peebles, and you may go forward. Thank you.
I'm a 37-year-old man, born in 1988. I moved to Texas when I was 18 years old. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I have four children, 3 boys and a girl. The first time I've ever been charged with a crime was when I was 27 years old. I worked out. I'm healthy. My health is in great shape. So if I start shaking, foamless at the mouth, looking as though I'm having a seizure, which I've never had in my life, it's because you're talking about something that you don't want me to talk about. and they are electrocuting me with this shock box that they got on my leg. They are electrocuting me through the shock box that they got on my leg because they don't want me to talk about the prior cases and why I'm in here and all the stuff that they've been doing to me since I've been incarcerated. Yes. Yeah, I'm very scared right now. You know, I hope my kids are watching this because I told their mothers make sure they don't go to YouTube and watch this. One of them 15, one of them 14, one of them 11, one of them 4. I'm disappointed in time and time again that they thought I was coming home so many times. I thought I was coming home. But because I'm outnumbered by the government, and there's so many powerful people in the government that hate my guts, not because of what I did to them, but because of who I am. When I got arrested, I was working with Nighthawk. I was contracted with several different plants. We did environmental studies. I was working with them for about 2 years, very consistent. I also started working back in my old job at arcade for kids. So I was working 2 jobs, and I was still able to make a lot of time for my children and my wife. I don't understand why these people want to keep me incarcerated so bad. I have filed numerous affidavits throughout the years telling them that I wouldn't file a lawsuit. They just let me go home. But I'm not about to sign for nothing, because if I do, I won't be able to get my job. That signing for anything is not enough. I've never been convicted of an extraneous crime before, and I'm not about to start now. I was a law-abiding citizen. I've lived 7 years of my life fighting for people in cases that they know I didn't do. So yes, I'm about to talk about every single factor from the day I was charged with the first illegal crime back in 2016, all the way up into this new crime that he just told me about, of some feces being thrown on somebody. And everything that I'm about to mention is on record, or I have witnesses about. And I'm about to educate the jury about the law that y'all keep breaking, about the rules that y'all keep breaking, and how y'all like to keep trying to manipulate stuff to keep me in here. They talk as if they don't got a personal problem with me. This is my 4th trial. My 4th trial. And the only time they were able to get a conviction was when it wasn't a jury in front of me. And that conviction came from a probation violation of a charge that they had no jurisdiction over in the first place. It was supposed to be in misdemeanor court, not felony court. $7 years. Yes, I'm about to exploit all this evidence. So I want to start by talking about this partial jury trial that's going on right now. this completely unfair jury trials that they forcing me to go through right now. During the jury selection 2 days ago, and then 30 minutes into it, the judge don't sit up here and say, well, you need to make sure you ask the questions right and do all of this, because when the lady start transcribing this, she's gonna need to. And it was 30 minutes into it. I said, y'all not transcribing this? We're about to.
Hold on, sir. Sir.
What?
Sir, let's get relevant here. You were charged with the first-degree felony of aggravated assault against a public servant. This isn't the time to make a speech of your whole life. Let's stay within the relevant allegation. And don't interrupt the court. I've said, how many times have I said that? You have a fair opportunity to be heard. The court is required by law to direct the law to the people, and the jurors are instructed. We are focusing the relevant matters of the accusation in the four corners of this indictment. Let's stay within this. This isn't time for your life story. If you are found guilty, if we go to the punishment phase, there are matters you can bring up that are relevant to punishment. This is only about the allegation. Please stay within the four corners of the charge. Thank you, sir.
The jury, the day I'm talking about is the jury selection for this charge. So
Stay within the four corners of the charge in this indictment. That's what's relevant. Thank you for following the rules.
that's what I'm doing. So there was no point in me objecting to what I was seeing on the jury selection paper, because he wasn't.
Once again, sir, this is with the four corners of what happened on or about June 6, 2023. Let's don't talk about jury selection. This was all, that's not relevant to the facts. Stay within the facts, sir. Please go forward.
The Sixth Amendment says the accused shall enjoy a speedy public trial by an impartial jury. The word impartial means fair. In the district, whereas the crime shall have been committed, which shall have been previously ascertained by law, shall be confronted by the witnesses against him, which means the witness that's against me shall have said that I did whatever they charged me with. And yesterday, that man sat right here and said, yeah, you scratched me. That's how I got my injury. He sat right here after we read out, the victim sat right here after we read out his report. And he said that his report was accurate. And he said, yeah, after he got done lying and perjuring, he couldn't help himself. He had to, you scratched me. That's how I got my injury. But yet I'm indicted for stabbing him with ink pen. And you talking about standing before huge. That's exactly what I'm doing. The four corners, matter of fact, all persons born or neutralized in the United States.
Naturalized, sir.
Naturalized, thanks for correcting me. You're right. Naturalized in the United States. Ooh, you know this. And you know it.
Sir, just please move forward with what you need to say.
Born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges and immunity of the citizens of the United States. Last I checked, I was born in the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process. Last I checked, me talking about how unfair a jury is, I had the right to do that because my right is being abridged. So I can tell the world and explain how my rights are being abridged during my testimony in the four corners of the indictment. Is that correct, Judge?
Sir, move forward. and stay relevant to what the allegations are in the four countries. And please, for the 20th time, please don't speak over the court when I'm speaking. Sir, how many times have I said that to you? You have a fair opportunity to speak, but it's not on your terms. The law has its rulings. The rules of evidence have its rules, and you, in representing yourself, must follow them, whether you like it or not. You have to stay within the rules. It's just not a full-blown part where you have just anything to say without any restrictions. That's the way the rules were built. And you have to follow the rules and stay within the four corners. And this is what are the facts are that is alleged of wrongdoing in this indictment. Please speak to that. This is your opportunity. Go forward. Stay relevant.
Yes, Your Honor, but
Move forward, sir.
I would like you to let me know if what I just said was correct or not.
It wasn't relevant to whether the facts are, I give the law. You don't start quoting constitutional law. I'm going to give the law, sir. You just talk about the facts. Please move forward. These people have valuable time here. Let's stay within the rules. Give them what your version of the facts of this incident were. Please move forward. That's what we're here for.
So you above the laws of this country? I'm just asking
You one more statement like that, and I must hold you in contempt of court. I don't want to do that. I've ordered you to follow the rules. Please follow the rules. Direct the attention of the jurors to the facts as you want to say them in this allegation.
within the jurisdiction.
I give the law, not you, sir. Just talk about the facts of this case.
Equal protection of the law.
You're not going to follow the directions of the court and the rules? Or,
I see how Jesus should.
that's your statement?
I'm testifying, Your Honor.
To the facts of the case, sir.
So you tell me I can't be a character witness to myself?
Sir, give what you want to say to the jury of the facts within the allegations. That's what we're here for.
This jury is sanctioned by law.
I'm sorry, sir. This isn't a debate. Go into the facts of the case, please.
Okay.
I've made a ruling. Follow the ruling.
I'm being a character witness. Can I call myself as a character witness?
You don't do it that way. You can speak.
Can I talk about myself?
Yes, you
as a character witness.
The character as to character is not relevant at the guilt or innocence phase. It's at the punishment phase. You can talk about what the facts are and what might have been motivations. I'm helping you out on this. You might have been what motivations that you had in acting within the allegations here. I can't tell you what to say, but character evidence is something that is reserved for the punishment phase, where the jury is to decide what the punishment should be. Right here, it's to determine, did you or did you not commit the offense? Not, are you a good person or not? It's about the facts of whether the allegations have been proven true beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the rule. Please stay within that rule. Go forward.
So the DA can destroy my case.
Go forward, sir. They can ask you questions on cross-examination, and you have an opportunity to do redirect statements on your own later. That's the law. You should know that.
For the last 2 days, you've been destroying my character.
Well, sir, that's
I can't rebuild it.
you should have objected.
I did object. You told me that didn't make it. I did.
Okay, move forward. Move forward, sir. Speak on the facts of the case, sir.
I would like to object to the jury selection,
Overruled. Go to the facts of the case, sir.
but I need to.
Sir, it's overruled.
Before you.
Sir, it's overruled.
Okay.
You move forward and we'll take
it on record.
I'm sorry, sir. We'll take that up outside the presence of the jury, and you'll have a fair opportunity to make your statement and put the rule on, but not in front of the jury. That's not what's relevant for them. They need to know what the facts are, not what your personal feelings are about this court. Move forward.
That's not the way.
Move forward, sir.
I have to tell you what my objection is before.
No, I will do it outside the jury. We'll do it outside the presence of the jury. That's not relevant. You go.
They can do it at the jury selection.
No, sir. No, sir. That's not the appropriate way to do
That
it.
is
We're going to follow.
appropriate way, Your Honor.
I've made my ruling. Move forward. Talk about the facts of the case, sir.
I love y'all. Remember, I love y'all. I'll never forget. This is what resilience is. This is what perseverance is. This is what integrity is. All my family that is watching this right now, this is what integrity is. This is what dignity is. This is what perseverance is. You understand me? Don't ever forget this. Don't ever forget this. So, every juror in here is related to an officer in this county. I have a few lawsuits that's naming a lot of officers that did some real foul, atrocious stuff to me throughout these 7 years. It's completely overstepping the Constitution. 3 of the jurors had close relations to Mike Laird by their own admission. One of the jurors was related to the guy that arrested me, to the officer that arrested me and broke my phone and destroyed my evidence. That I had, the same officer that I had to prove set me up and framed me at the last trial of a jury that voted in my favor 11-1. Nobody in this country would have voted in my favor. That juror that voted against me was planned, was tampered with. I'm still in prison for pointing a gun at somebody. Pointing a gun, which is a misdemeanor. I didn't shoot the gun. I just pointed. By law, that is a misdemeanor. They charged me with aggravated assault. I took probation because I knew nothing about the law. I took probation, I knew nothing about the law. They manipulated the facts. Well, no, they told the truth about the facts on the indictment. But they manipulated the law and said it was aggravated assault by pointing a gun. For 3 years I was on probation, doing good. Mental health probation might not act because I was depressed at the time. I was depressed at the time because I didn't have a job. And I couldn't take care of my kids the way I wanted to. And it was killing me. I was a coward. I was weak around the time because I didn't have the opportunity and the access and research. But after that situation, and I took probation, I was able to get my head together. It ended up getting me a good job. And I was the sole provider in my household, and we was eating good. You understand me? My probation officer, the detective went to talk to my probation officer, trying to see what he can figure out how to violate my probation. You know what my probation officer told him on the paperwork? He's been in compliance for the past 3 years. He pay his fees. He do his community service. He go to work. He don't do drugs. He's been in compliance. I ain't got nothing to give you. So you know what he did? He sent his officers because this one foul female that I was dealing with behind my wife's back, and it backfired in my face. She got mad behind some money. Behind some money that she know I had nothing to do. I had nothing to do with it. Trying to accuse me and want to go to war with me behind some money. And instead of keeping it in the streets like she claimed she wanted to do, she went and lied to them people and told them I raped her. And then she got somebody else that I knew that I didn't know she knew to lie and said the same thing happened to her, but she didn't want to say I did it because she knew I knew too much. We was too cool. That woman, you can tell how bad she was feeling and how stupid she was feeling, sitting up there testifying about something that didn't happen to her. But she was doing it on account of her friend. She was doing it on account of her friend. Because her friend knew that she wasn't going to beat that charge by herself, because I could have proved that every time we had sex, it was consensual. I could have proved it. Text messages, GPS. I could have proved it. She knew she couldn't do it on her own, so she got somebody else to make it seem like, oh, the situations are identical. If it happened to me, I can't be lying because it happened to her too. Trying to make it seem like she didn't know it. But the girl sat up here on the stand and ended up in me. Yeah, I know her. Oh, you know her. But you told the police report you didn't know me or her. And then you told the police you didn't know me or her. But now in here, when she get on the stand, oh yeah, I know him. We only went on one date. But I mean, it was only one time. First we went on one date. Then we only seen each other three times. Everybody, all these people know. They know I didn't do what I initially was in here for, and they know I didn't do the stuff they trying to give me life in prison for. But they hate me so much. The last 3 trials, this man had a white prosecutor. DA Michael Laird, his prosecutors was white. Miss Angela Mann, been his prosecutor. Angela Mann Neely, been his prosecutor for a while now. I've never seen nobody else working with him except Angela Mann and Waylon G. Thompson, both which are white. But here he is on this trial. He got a black woman working with him to try to defeat the appearance of racism. Like I'm not going to acknowledge that. And then it was somebody in the jury box that was related to her. She probably don't even want to be here. Y'all probably gave her some ridiculous offer to help. And she, okay, all right. That sounds like some good money. Oh, that sounds like a good deal. Oh, cool. That's a good deal. Other than that, I'm not understanding why this man just got up here and lied and said he never had interactions with me. Why he just sit there trying to lie and say I dashed the officer with some feces. Why y'all sitting up here blocking my subpoena? I filed a subpoena 3 years ago. I filed a subpoena, and y'all clerks were telling me on this case, filed a subpoena on this case, and y'all clerks sitting up here telling me that I can't file a subpoena, that they can't subpoena nobody for me because they can't do it for me.
That's not an accurate statement.
That is very.
I'm sorry.
I can tell you what day it was.
Sorry, sir.
I can tell you what day it was.
Once again, I'm going to tell you when I speak, you must stop, please. That's the rule of law. I know you don't like to follow these things, but that's the rule of law. Subpoenas, if you send subpoenas, first of all, I urge you, have an attorney to help you.
I don't need
I know.
I'm a jurist.
I'm an expert. The subpoenas you've submitted are inaccurate, incorrect, and weren't properly filed. That is why they were not submitted. And I urge you, get some help so you can do it properly. That's why, sir. And not everybody can. That's why people go to law school and become.
The should have compulsory process and obtaining witness.
As long as it's done correctly.
I don't need a paper motion if I ask you on record in the court to do so.
All right. Go to what is relevant. That's enough on that. Go to what's relevant of the allegation of the first-degree felony of aggravated assault.
Everything is connected. Y'all only did.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Y'all would have never charged me with this.
Is there anything else you want to add?
If I never filed the habeas corpus, I filed the habeas corpus accusing Joshua Hall, Detective Duchamp, who else? Detective Duchamp, Joshua Hall, Mike Laird, my attorney of conspiring against me, right? I accused them in a habeas corpus back in 2022, March 9th. Ever since then, I ain't been getting no sleep because y'all want to keep sending people after me in the jailhouse to harass me. And you keep talking about they keeping me in isolation because of my behavior. I was in TDC. I had a job in TDC doing good. But as soon as I filed a lawsuit, y'all transfer me back down here and throw me directly in isolation. And you trying to talk about my behavior. No, y'all don't have me in isolation because of my behavior. You have me in isolation because of these lawsuits. Matter of fact, I'm about to show the world. You want me to stop? You don't want me to show the world? Hit that button and electrocute me right now.
Sir.
Hit that button and electrocute me right now because the world.
Sir, why don't you act properly, sir?
Oh, I'm acting very properly.
I don't believe anyone in this room thinks that, sir.
I'm pretty sure they don't because they
No,
all
sir.
hanging